I'm Dana Holgorsen. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Okay, this is personally my favorite week of the year. Not necessarily who we're playing, but as far as just what the weekly routine is, it's a football week. You know, and there's less distractions, and it has everything to do with just football and your football family, and getting to spend a little bit more time with each other. So, yesterday we still gave them a day off, even though there's no school. Still got to have a day off, and today and tomorrow, a lot of football time, a lot of football stuff. Get to go out and practice. We got awesome weather to be able to go out and do that, and we all know we need a lot of that at this point. So, and then Thursday, obviously, get them up here and practice a little bit, and then, get to spend the rest of the day just kind of hanging out, whether it's hanging out with the guys or coaches or family or whatever it is. So, Friday, get to travel, and Saturday, get to play a great football team. That's something to look forward to. So, I think our guys are excited about that. I think they like each other and like playing, so get an opportunity to be able to do that. What more can you ask for? If you look back at, I know I can go back and look at your college days, one of the weeks that stands out is this one. And we're fortunate to be able to play. So that's all good. And I think, and I'm looking forward to it. This is, we get to play a really good football team. We all are well aware of who we're playing, and they're a great team, and we've competed hard against these guys for the last 5 years, and it's been extremely competitive, and we've came up short. So we have an opportunity to go win in Norman for the first time. It's the only place in the Big 12 we haven't won, and got an opportunity to beat Oklahoma, which we haven't beat Oklahoma around here in a while. So all that's what our sights are set on, and that's all we're thinking about. And we're not thinking about what's after that. We're not thinking about who we're going to be playing in the bowl game or next year or any of that. It's about Oklahoma this week, and that's all that matters here for the next 5 days. They're really good. Offensively, the most efficient team that I've seen in a long time. They play well together. It starts with that quarterback, which we all know is going to play. The guy behind him's every bit as good, if you can believe that. Younger, but every bit as good. So they won't change much regardless of who's in there. It probably has a lot to do with who's around them. They got 3 really good running backs that they can hand it to anytime they want. One of the best fullbacks in football, the Flowers kid. Best tight end in football, Andrews. That guy's 6'5", 250 and can run down the field and hurt you down the field. It's impressive what they do with him. Same 5 O-line guys that we played against last year. One of the better O-lines in the country, and emerging young kids at receiver. That was the big question mark going into the year. Was their receiver group. They got 3 guys that can go, and getting better and better and better. So 8.3 yards per play. I think that's a NCAA record. Somebody might want to look at that. I've never seen anybody average 8.3 yards a play over the course of 11 games. So they're coached well. They got a good scheme. They got a ton of experience with a lot of old guys that have been there for quite a while. They know what their plan is, and they're pretty good at it. Defensively, I see a ton of improvement. Been going against Coach Stoops for a long time. They're comfortable with what they're trying to do with their scheme. They got a lot of young kids that they're playing. It's similar to what we saw last week. It's pretty similar to what we saw last week with a front that's big, and it's a run-stop defense that doesn't take a whole lot of chances. Okay, they're going to get in position where they're going to dial up blitzes on third down and critical downs, and at specific points in the drive, they would prefer just be base and beat you with their players. Their linebackers are getting better and better. Their safeties have got experience. Their corners are pretty young, inexperienced guys that they try to protect with some zone coverage over the top. But, the one guy off the edge, 31, I think's got 8 or 9 sacks this year. He's problematic, and then they can do some different things with backers to get pressure on the quarterback if they need to. But they've shown improvement. All their numbers are better than last year. All their numbers have been improving throughout the course of this year. I understand what happened 3 weeks ago in Stillwater. That was that game that was just kept going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But other than that, here recently, they've been playing really well. Special teams, don't see this very often, but they got the Seibert kid does everything. You don't see that in college football very much, where the kicker also kicks off and also punts. I mean, I haven't seen it yet this year. Doesn't happen very often. That he was a national guy. Does a great job with kicking. Is incredibly accurate. Kicks most of them into the end zone, and then does a good job with their punts as well. Coverage units are good. Got a lot of speed, and then their return units are dangerous as well. Got a bunch of different people that they can put back there. I was happy with our coverage units last week. It's going to have to be the same thing. We're going to have to get down the field and get those guys on the ground. I was happy with it last year, and needs to be probably a little bit more consistent, but with the same amount of effort this week as well. So we'll take some questions.
Dana, with a little bit of maybe extra practice time this week in those classes, how important is that for Chris Chuganoff, and how much do you put on his plate going forward?
Yeah, it's certainly going to help. Backup quarterbacks get about 20% of the reps. It's probably about the same everywhere. So, he got about 20% of the reps last week. So, getting him 80% of the reps, and then we'll give David Israel the other 20%. We need a backup quarterback to go in. David, we'll burn his redshirt year, and he needs to go in. It will most definitely help, from a timing perspective and from a rep perspective. He should be more comfortable with it. Now, he knows what to do. There wasn't anything that we didn't do last week that he didn't know what to do. He's been here for 3 years. He's smart. He's a 4.0 student. He's got a lot of reps throughout spring and camp, and been through 3 springs and 3 camps. I mean, he's ready to go. I was happy with the way he competed last week. He went in there and competed his tail off, got knocked around a little bit and kept getting up, and knew where to go with the ball. It's just timing and reps, and the number 2 guy's usually not on the on the same page like the number 1 guy is. That takes time. With that said, Chugs knows what to do, and he's going to go in. He's going to compete his tail off. I mentioned this in the press conference, and it's true. When that happens, people need to rally, and everybody around them needs to rally and play above what they're capable of playing, play above what they're used to playing. That's how you win those games. And although I was happy with what Chugs did, I think we need other people to be able to step up and play better.
What about how the other players have been since that time toward Chugs?
I think there is an element in the game, Mitch, that second quarter, I think everybody was like, oh, crap. I think that's probably, the human element of what we do. I mean, everybody saw it, and everybody was like, I don't know if you can script a play that can be more devastating to a team. From taking points off the board to defense having to go right out there. Everybody saw the finger. Can't script it any worse. You guys know it, and I know it. And I think the human element was like, oh, crap, for about a quarter. And we didn't do crap on offense and defense. We gave up 2 big drives. So our team, it wasn't just, I can't just pinpoint, say, the receiver group or whatever it is. Just everybody, our whole sideline was like, oh, crap. And then I was really proud of everybody at halftime. We went into halftime, and there wasn't panic, there wasn't give up, there wasn't, let's take the pads off mentality. I was proud of the coaches and proud of the players, and we got together and we attacked it and we played our tail off in the second half. got ourselves in position to where, we were only down 7 points on a couple of different drives and just didn't have enough to be able to close it out. Probably gave that other team a lot of momentum as well. You could see their sidelines go from nothing to a whole bunch after that injury happened. And they had a lot. They wanted to win that game a lot, pretty bad. They've been working hard. They've been getting better, really good on defense. It gave them a little bit of juice as well. Just couldn't overcome it.
As a coach, Dana, what do you emphasize this week? Rally around the situation, a chance to ruin Oklahoma's season, a chance to add some luster to your season, and maybe improve. I know you're not thinking.
I should write all those down, Bob. That's good. Can you send those to me? I need some talking points for the team here. I meet with them an hour and 20 minutes.
Is that pretty much
it is.
The kind of approach you take?
It is. I mean, I can't remember the last time we've been in this situation. I mean, what do we got to lose? Let's go play ball. Let's have fun. Let's rally around Chugs. Let's play our tail off. I mean, this season changes drastically. We can go win this one, right? I mean, that nobody expects us to win. Everybody gets that. They're a great team. I still think we got some pretty capable football players that are going to rally around that quarterback who might be pretty dang good, and go out there and cut it loose and have some fun and let's go play some ball, man. I mean, you get an opportunity to be able to play football this week against that team, you should be pretty jacked up about it. I don't think I'm going to have to do a whole lot for us to get up. We're in the postseason. We're going to be able to regroup in December, and recruiting starts Sunday. We know we're going to be on the road, not playing in that championship game. That was our goal. It didn't happen, but that we still have things to look forward to. We got a good December ahead of us. We'll worry about December once December gets here.
You have had some success running the football against this team. Does that become a focal point of your offensive strategy going into the game, knowing that?
I mean, I kind of been vocal about making sure we're able to do that every week this year. Been times where I thought we focused on it and been good at it. Been times where I thought we focused on it and we weren't good enough at it. There's probably been some times I thought we overlooked it a little bit as well. So, yeah, most certainly need to be able to do that. I don't care who we're playing.
Speaking of recruiting, with the early signing period come up, is there a push from you guys to try to get all those kids to sign, or do you have any expectations, or unknown?
I don't know how it's going to work out. I mean, this is new to everybody. This is new to coaches. This is new to recruits. This is new to high school coaches. This is new to media. This is new to everybody. I think everybody's going to be on a wait-and-see thing. I will say this. This is the first time we've had this much time to recruit. We've played on this weekend the last 2 years. The first weekend in December. We've played on that weekend the last 2 years. Plus, I don't remember there being 3 weeks before that signing period. It's been 2 most of the time, and we've only had 1 each of the last 2 years. So we're going to have 3 weeks to be able to go out and see kids three times. I mean, we'll probably have a pretty good idea after we go sit down and actually talk to them and meet with them and, talk to parents and what their plan's going to be for signing day in December. I'm anxious to see how it plays out. And I think once we figure it out this year, I think it's going to be totally different next year. It's going to change again with early visits and just after going through it one time. I don't know what to expect. Let you know when it happens.
Dana, it seemed like Chugs was twice, like literally a half beat away from the 4th down pass to Gary in the end zone that got tipped. That's far out to Karan. Is that just a matter of recognizing it a second early? Because it looks like his strength is good.
It's timing. I mean, he's got, and I mean, we wanted him to get the ball out fairly quick. I mean, those guys were pretty good up front and trying to get there and all that. It's just timing. It's what I said with Chugs knows what to do and where to go with the ball. He needs that. He needs those reps. And, you can the reps in spring where he's not getting blistered by D linemen and linebackers is a little different. So, him being in that game gave him a lot of confidence. It gave him a lot of experience, but the timing that needs to exist, which happens over a period of time, I think will be improved this week. You know, is it going to be good enough to score enough to win? We'll have to wait and see. But you're right. He was a tick off at times, but some of that is his protection up front. Some of it's working the pocket and understanding the pocket and just the relationship that needs to exist with him and the receivers.
Dana, you stand up there a lot and say that there's only so much you can do as far as your game plan or what opponents can do if they lose a player, for example, right? But you do have some extra time, so do you commit it to encapsulating what Chugs can do, or do you get him focused on what you all have been doing for 11 weeks and getting better at that?
Yeah, there's still only 5 days in a week. I mean, you got a little bit more time, but you know, we can't keep these guys up here for 8 hours a day, or you know, I mean, that's greatly overstated with what you can do in a week. You know, it certainly can't help. I mean, you're able to meet with them a little bit more, but just actual practice time, you can't go out there this time of the year and practice for 3 hours. You have no gas in the tank on Saturday, so you got to be careful with it. Just having the 80% of the starting quarterback reps will help a ton. You know, there's some things that Chugs does a little bit better than Will. There's a lot of things that Will does a lot better than Chugs. So we got to identify that as coaches and do the best that we can of putting him in a position to be successful.
Danny, you said yesterday that Will was going to be back, I guess, yesterday. Have you sat down and talked with him?
Not yet. I am here this afternoon. He'll be up here in a little bit. He got back late last night. And we'll be around all week. I mean, he's anxious to find out what the game plan is and watch practice and be there as another set of eyes. You know, rarely take injured guys on road trips. He'll be going. He'll be on the trip and you know, wants to support his guys and help be a coach on the sidelines. You know, that's the kind of kid that we're dealing with. We all know Will and what kind of a teammate he is and his football IQ, and will probably be pretty comforting to Chugs to have him on the sidelines to be able to talk to him.
Dana, you mentioned David Israel as your backup. Do you have an emergency third? Does Sills get some snaps?
I thought we were getting there on Saturday. That double targeting, I've never seen a double targeting. They didn't call double targeting, and they should have, because both kids went towards his head. I guess I don't know what they were trying to do, but yeah, I thought we were getting there. So we have a plan, and it almost went into place real quick.
You're putting together a plan. What influences you more? What the other team gives you, or what you're capable of doing?
The second one first, and you want to get to the first one quick. And that all depends on who the player is. With Chugs, I think we can get to the first one a whole heck of a lot quicker than our backup quarterback right now. The backup quarterback's still learning what to do. He's been on campus since July. Chugs has been on campus for 3 years. So you got to figure out what your guy can do, and then you expand on it. With our backup, we're still in the teaching him what to do, period.
You know,
But with Chugs, we can do a lot. He's a smart kid. We can do a lot with him.
What's his best attribute?
He's smart. He's intelligent. He understands the offense. He's got a good arm. You know, he can keep things alive relatively well. He's not Skyler. He's not Will when it comes to that. So there's plenty of things we can do with him. We can expand the offense pretty good.
What's Thanksgiving like for the team and, you know, for you guys on that day? And do you have a favorite Thanksgiving memory from either when you were younger or
You
miss Thanksgiving games? I mean,
do I miss the games
you know, Thanksgiving.
being played on Thanksgiving? Yeah, I looked at the slate this year. I was kind of disappointed in it. You know, I lived in Mississippi a little while, and the Egg Bowl was big. You know, living in Texas, and Texas A&M was big. I don't know, at the NFL games, I remember it's always the Bears and the Lions or something like that, right? Packers, Cowboys. And that's what I referred to earlier. I mean, this week is you got a little bit more time. There's less distractions, and towards the end of the week, you get to eat a bunch. And we will practice our guys in the morning. We'll be done by about 1, and then they need to go enjoy Thanksgiving. I can't let guys really go home, but guys like Tonkery, I'm sure is going to go down the road, and guys that are relatively close, they can go and they probably fill their car up with a bunch of their teammates. Some guys like to go to their girlfriend's house or whatever that's relatively close. They need to be in their beds here on Thursday night. Other than that, they want to drive to Pittsburgh, and that's fine with me. Just got to be back in their beds on Thursday night. Guys that don't have anywhere to go, we know we got a whole lot of people that are not from here that are from a variety of places. Coaches open up their houses, their players, and a lot of players go over, and they're gonna have plenty of opportunities to eat.